Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Front Row Seats. Today, for the second week in a row, we're doing a preview for this week's Bundesliga's fixtures. And I'm joined with Tom from Insta at a Time. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Cheers.
I'm good. Obviously, no Owen today. He's doing an assignment, so I wish you all good luck, Owen, with your last time at uni. So, let's get straight into it, shall we, Tom? Tonight, the Berlin Derby. Now, this is going to be a good one. Well,
it'd be a good game.
I think it'd be better for us fans. I don't know, a bit like we saw last week between Dortmund and Schalke. I think it takes the derby aspect away from it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. It's quite a nice game, though, because both teams are proper bunched up out there.
Yeah, 100%. So let's get into this. Obviously, the last 5 meetings, Unions have come on top more. They've won 2, Hertha's won 1, and been 2 draws. The last meeting was a 1-0 win to Union Berlin. Obviously, remember that one earlier this season. Fantastic win for the promoted side. But like you said, Tom, a minute ago, like the sides are literally 11th and 12th. Hertha on 31 points on 11th, and Union in 12th for 30 points. It's 1 point separate. So you never saw about bragging rights, like who can finish higher this year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, Union's not going to go down, which they were predicted to go to, and Hertha don't look like they're going to make Europe. So basically, all we're playing for right now, I think, is who finishes higher. Do you know what I mean?
Bit of pride.
Union Berlin to come up in their first season and finish above them. Do you know what I mean?
That'd be pretty good.
But the last, if they did. Yeah, I know. We're all a bit Union, to be fair. But last 6 games for both sides, Hertha's won 2, drawn 2, lost 2. So their form's been up and down. You know, not great, not the worst. Mid-table form, same as Union Berlin. 1, 2, drawn 1, lost 3 though. Players to watch out for. I've linked for Hertha Berlin. I've gone for Matthias Tuna. If you watched Monday's episode, you can remember that I spoke about him. A 20-year-old cam, 3 goals in 3 games. He averages 10.5 on who scored. Like I think he's probably one of the only highlights of this season for Hertha Berlin. For a season that's not been great for them. Do you know what I mean? So I'd fully watch out for him. And then for Union Berlin, I'm going for the striker Sebastian Andersson, who didn't start last game, which is a bit weird, but he's got 11 goals. So I don't know why he didn't start against Bayern Munich. Maybe they were saving him for Derby. I'm not sure.
Was he injured?
No, because he came on near the end. And he
bit of an interesting one.
Yeah,
bit of an interesting one.
I mean, I remember speaking to my mate about Union Berlin. He was like, "Oh, they're shocking me." I was like, "To be fair, they've not." He makes them better. Do you know what I mean? So fingers crossed. He plays.
Yeah, they're all right. They're not too bad.
He plays, yeah. For a bet, if you're a betting guys, I've gone for over 2.5 goals and Tuna to score any time because I do think Tuna will score because I honestly rate him and I think he's one player that I'd keep an eye on for like a bigger move. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's one for the future.
Yeah, 100%. My prediction, though, as much as obviously you know that I like Union Berlin, I like the story, no bias there. I'm actually going to go for a Hertha 2-1 win only because of Union Berlin's away record's not great and Hertha's at home as well. And I think it's going to be a tie, but I think it's going to be 2-1 Hertha. Do you have any predictions for that? Or do you think you're going Union way or do you think it'll be Hertha win?
I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw.
I think it's going to be a draw. Without the fans, without the fans, I think it's going to make a massive difference.
It's going to be a weird one tonight.
It's going to be a weird one, yeah. I'm not too sure about it yet.
So that's our game of the weekend. Make sure you go check that game out tonight. It will be a good... football and wide probably won't be great, but how often do you see the Berlin Derby? Not very often. So move on to the next match, which is obviously top of the league. Bayern Munich are against... Who are they against again?
Eintracht Frankfurt.
That's it. So Tom, obviously you studied this one. What's happening? If you made it all this way to the video so far, congratulations. Must be mad or enjoying it. But yeah, just want to say if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. But let's get back into the Bayern Munich preview.
Yeah, so we got Bayern, Frankfurt. Obviously, Bayern coming off a comfortable win on Sunday. Yeah, didn't set the world alight, but it was a comfortable win. Mm-hmm. Frankfurt. They're struggling, and be honest, they're 13th. Last 5 games, they've won 1, lost 4. So they are struggling a bit. They are struggling, but I'm not. And I think this is if you're struggling and you get given top of the league and a team who've been unbeaten since November or whatever, it's not what you want. They're going to struggle. They're going to struggle. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be Bayern are probably going to romp them. I think you're looking at Frankfurt. They've only drawn 4 times this season, so they're losing a lot of games. So I think that's where Bayern will be looking at that they're losing. They're not drawing many. We can have this. It's for us to take. So I think that's going to be a comfortable win for Munich. I mean, you're looking at. I think the big thing about this game was Frankfurt beat Munich in the first leg.
They all 5-1, didn't they? Got their man.
Yeah, so it's back out for revenge. Really, that's what it is. Lewandowski and Bayern welcome them to the Allianz Arena this time round.
Yeah,
and I think Munich at the Allianz Arena are a pretty formidable force. They don't lose much there, regardless of if fans are there or not. So I think that's the big thing. I mean, I think the players to watch out for Munich. I'm going to outline Alphonso Davies.
Mm-hmm.
He had a good game on Sunday, but I think still the game people are looking at him was when we played Chelsea. I think.
Yeah,
and he absolutely shredded Chelsea on that left-hand side.
I think he played obviously an English team, didn't he? So he's more exposure.
He's more exposure playing against English team, but I think looking at the way he's played in the league this year for him, he's been quality. And he's only 19. Player, one to watch out for. But then you're looking at Frankfurt. I think Frankfurt, they've got obviously up top or on the wing, they've got Kostic.
Yeah.
Kostic is one of their players. He's been consistently scoring goals, making the assists, playing a lot of games, and I think the stats and the hype about him reflect that. Obviously, I think if you're playing for a team now, 14th, 15th in the Bundesliga, 13th, sorry, and you're playing that good of football, surely, in my eyes, a move has to be coming at some point.
Fair enough. I got a question for you about him. Would you put him on the right wing to put pressure on Davies to not always go forward?
Nah, I'd leave him on the left. He's left-footed. I'd leave him on the left. I just think if he's coming up against Davies is not the best defensively. I see where you're coming from. But then they've got Alaba playing that left centre half.
Yeah, true.
So if they come down the right, Alaba's going to shuffle over. And then if you've got two world-class left-backs, stop him. Yeah,
that's true, yeah.
But then he's on the left. He's only up against Pavard. Pavard's a good player, but I reckon Kostic has got the beating of Pavard. Kostic is quick as well.
Yeah.
And, the German champions, so beat Munich, they're averaging three goals per game this season. So they're averaging a really high number of games. And like I said, Frankfurt are one of only 4 teams this year in the whole of German football that's in the cup and the league to actually beat Munich. So you look at that and you think, is there a chance? Probably not. I don't think they can do it. I've been quite optimistic with my scoreline. I've gone 4-1 Munich. Sorry. I think they're going to have it's going to be a big one, and that's Saturday evening. So that's the Saturday evening kickoff.
Fair enough, man. Obviously, move to second. We'll go to second place now. Wolfsburg are at home against second place Dortmund. Last 5 meetings, Dortmund has been dominant. They've won 4, draw 1 against Wolfsburg. So, last meeting earlier this season was a 3-0 home win for Dortmund. So, Dortmund's definitely got their number. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Like I said, Dortmund sitting in second, 4 points off by Munich. And like you said, more than likely Bayern are going to get a win this weekend. So, they're going to have to keep winning just to have a chance. Do you know what I mean?
Just keep the pressure on them. Keep the pressure on them.
Wolfsburg are 6 with 2 points ahead of Freiburg, who are in 7th, to try and keep that 6th spot for European football.
Yeah.
Last 6 games, Wolfsburg's won 3, drawn 3, lost 0. And last 6. And then Dortmund's won 5 and lost 1. Players to watch, I've actually highlighted for Wolfsburg, Kevin Mamba, who's a right back, who I thought had a great game last week. He got man of the match, and he just really impressed me. Like, I don't know whether I didn't review that game on Monday, but he was someone I watched. I was like, this guy. Obviously, it's only 1 game, so I can't, And he doesn't seem their best player according to who scored, but to me, he was like going forward. He looked aggressive, but it's a completely different game against Dortmund because you're against world-class players down that left flank.
You're going to be put on the defensive from the first from the first whistle. So
we'll see I'll see on whenever they play if he's a good enough defender. Never mind.
Exactly.
For Dortmund, it's pretty easy. We all know where I'm going. Erling Haaland. Like if there's anyone else, he's stupid. He's got 9 goals he's played 9 games. Sorry, scored 10 goals and got 2 assists. His goal contribution per minute is basically 51 minutes. Every 51 minutes a game, he scores or gets an assist. My bet, again, obviously, as me being a better man, I thought I'd throw this in. Over 2.5 goals, definitely. And Haaland score first, I've gone for.
Ooh.
And my prediction, I'm just going to go for a 3-1 win Dortmund. I can't see Wolfsburg. I think Wolfsburg is probably the best of the rest.
Yeah, I agree.
But when it comes to Bayern, Dortmund, they're just a level above 6 and below. Do you know what I mean? It just shows.
Just that next one up, and there's a big gap between the side of the going up the levels. Yeah, I get you. I know what you mean.
And then we go over to my team. It always just let me down. I think RB Leipzig. They're away to Mainz. What do you think is going to happen there, Tom?
I mean, if you asked me this last week, I would have said Leipzig would have absolutely dominated it. But I'm a little bit unsure at the moment. I'm a little bit unsure. I mean, I think Leipzig are going to win. Don't get me wrong. But Mainz, if Mainz play the way of football they play, which is quite defensive, quite compact, try and concede little goals and then score on the counter, then it could be interesting. Because Leipzig, we know, are just going to push forward and then try again. One thing I found interesting looking into this is, Leipzig, one of Leipzig midfielders, Emil Forsberg.
Yeah.
So he's out injured this week with tonsillitis. He's got tonsillitis, so he's out. I'm not sure how much of a big difference is that going to make. Yeah. But I know from looking at the stats, he's been quite an influential player throughout. Before the restart, he seemed quite an influential player for them. But Leipzig, you look in the team. Once you look into what they're doing and the squad, they've had a little bit of injury trouble throughout the season. To be fair, so that one of their centre halves, Kanate, quite a young, good centre half, quick. So he's 3 weeks out from full fitness. He had sustained a hip injury, so he was out for a long period of time. And he was, with him and Dayat Upamecano at the back, they formed a really good sort of defensive pairing. Yeah. Young, quick, physical. And I think that's one of the reasons why they were so good at the back. Just the strength and the power they had just stopped teams coming back in. And then you look at Mainz, they've been all right. I mean, they are still just above the playoff. Mm-hmm. But we're on 27 points, lost 15, won 8, drawn 3. Not a brilliant season. I still think they are 4 points clear of the playoffs. They've got a little bit of breathing. I think they're going to stay up, but they need to start playing a little bit better. I mean, it's the first time they've gone unbeaten in 3 games, Mainz. So they've gone unbeaten a bit. They're on a run. We're on a run. But, I mean, you're looking at key players. I mean, I wouldn't highlight Werner as a key player this game because I think people know what he can do. Yeah. Yes, he's an important player, but I'd highlight Yusuf Poulsen, the other striker for Leipzig. Yeah. Good striker, but obviously with Werner, you don't get the limelight.
No. He does the hard work, not even dirty work.
Yeah, I've watched the highlights of the game last week, and he's a sort of the engine room of the two up front. When the ball's played up, 9 times out of 10, he's going to be jumping for the header. Hold-up play, it's going to be there. He's just going to be the guy with his back to the defender, on the last man all the time, to hold it up, play it back to the attacking mid, who can play it then into Werner. Yeah. But then for Mainz, I've highlighted this lad. That's his name, Quaison. I've gone with Quaison. He looks a player. I mean, he looks a serious footballer. Can play anywhere from left mid to left wing to just behind the lad up top. So he's he's a left-sided player, but can also play down the middle. I think he's a really good player. I think will he get against Leipzig? Will he get the service? Will he get the chances to get in behind? Probably not, because of their defensive stability. Yeah, of course. So it's going to be a test of his ability. Can he find different ways to break the lines, get in the back? But there's never say never, I suppose. I mean, last week we thought Leipzig were going to roll it, and they were dreadful. They were dreadful.
So what are you going for now? What's your prediction then?
I'm going to say 2-1 Leipzig.
2-1 Leipzig.
But I think one thing just interesting in this game, it is Poulsen's 250th appearance if he starts on Saturday for the club. Oh, so he's been there since 2013.
Like a 5 on him to get a goal.
Stick a 5 on him.
We'll go to The next game, which is Paderborn versus Hoffenheim.
Ooh, lovely. Lovely.
Yeah, lovely. I actually like Paderborn. I hope they stay up. I haven't done a miracle. They won't do it, but
They're dead to rights at the moment.
yeah. So the last five meetings between the two clubs, Paderborn obviously has 0 wins. Hoffenheim has 4 wins and 1 draw. The last meeting was a 3-0 win for Hoffenheim at home. League positions: Hoffenheim sit 9th with 35 points, with 4 points off 6. So the Europa League dream is still on, really, especially because I think Wolfsburg are going to lose this week to Dortmund. I think, it could be a massive gap. Where, like you said earlier, Paderborn obviously sit 18th on 17 points. Bottom. Basically, dead and buried, aren't they, really? But
pretty much.
The last 6 games, both teams' last 6 games are both equal record. Both have 0 wins, 2 draws, and lost 4. So they've both been on shocking form.
Dreadful.
Yeah.
Dreadful.
Players to watch. This is hard because obviously Paderborn. But I don't know if you remember last week. Obviously, I did the review for their 0-0 game against. I'm not really doing 0-0 against now.
Freiburg on it, something like that.
Maybe it could have been Freiburg. Sebastian Schuler, who's a centre back, who averages 2.7 tackles, 1.8 interceptions, 6.1 clearances, and 0.7 blocks per game. Just obviously it's hard because obviously I'm not gonna lie to everyone and say I watch them every week because I don't. Especially with them that game like that. I watch highlights. Do you know what I mean? So I can only go on stats and other writers.
Yeah, exactly.
But my prediction would be that because they're the worst side, they're always defending, so their numbers are always going to be inflated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. They have no choice.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's probably their best player. For Hoffenheim, I've gone for Andrea Kramjovic, who's got 7 goals, 2 assists, and averages at 83.5 pass completion per game. Averages 1.6 key passes a game. So very good going forward. Probably their main threat of attack. Everything goes through him. Do you know what I mean?
He's a good player. I swear he used to play for Leicester as well. Kramaric.
Yeah, he could have done.
Played for Leicester. Yeah.
Andre Kramaric. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He was hopeless.
For the bet, normally the case, isn't it? The bet, I have Hoffenheim to win and keep a clean sheet because I can't see Paderborn winning. So I think you should put maybe a 5 on that. Don't know what the odds are. Let me know. My prediction, like I just said with my bet, I'm going to go for Hoffenheim to win. Hoffenheim to win. Which is obviously I know we kind of wind up Paderborn a little bit. Obviously, we still think they're a sick club and to get back to that promotion is still a class thing to do. And but they're just not cut out for this league. They're just not cut out for this league.
No, they are without obviously disrespecting them too much. They are a team probably for Bundesliga too.
100%.
They don't. You look at the players. They've got no. Without being harsh, they've got no standout players. They've got no.
Agreed.
They're just a bit. They are probably just they probably had a good season last season, and then to get up, and they're just a bit out of their depth. But it's a good learning experience.
Yeah, if you're a Premier League fan, it's like Norwich.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, yeah. So, but obviously, if they stay up, it'll be a great story for us to talk about. And so, hopefully, they stay up. But next match, we go to Gladbach versus Bayer Leverkusen. Last night out, Bayer Leverkusen was. I think it's going to be. I think this might be the game of the weekend.
I was just going to say, this is my game of the weekend.
Because they were both on form last week, weren't they?
You got 3rd v 5th, and 2 points between 3rd and 5th. So you've got a proper close game. Uh-huh. Whoever wins this is going to end up in the Champions League spot. So you've got to look at that.
Are you looking at that now? So whoever wins this game gets Champions League spot?
Yeah. I'll put it in now.
Put it in.
I'll put it in now. Whoever wins this. It's a massive game.
Massive, yeah.
It's called the Rhine Derby. Not sure what that means. Evidently just a derby.
Didn't know it was a derby, actually.
I didn't know until this morning when I was looking it up, and I was like, oh, it's a derby. But, so, there have been 249 goals scored in the 79 Bundesliga meetings between these two teams, which averages more than 3 goals a game, which is what I want to see. I want goals.
100%.
Don't want a boring game. So then obviously another fact about this game, Leverkusen went on an 26-game unbeaten record against Gladbach between 1994 and 2010. But Munchen and Gladbach have won every one of the last 3 meetings, so it's really quite an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I mean, you're looking at the teams. You got Munchen and Gladbach who are good. I've highlighted Plier as probably their most attacking threat for this game.
Yeah,
young lad, quick, can hold the ball up, and he's scoring goals as well.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's in a decent bit of form, so he's all right. But then Gladbach, not taking anything away from Gladbach, they got a good team. They've got that Thuram as well. Sorry, he's been good. He scored on Saturday as well. He'll be a player. So I think it's going to be an interesting game. But the player I highlight the most of Munchen Gladbach is this Ben Sibani, played left back. Last week. I thought he was absolutely unbelievable. He got an assist and a goal. I thought he was unreal.
Yeah.
But from reading the reports from newspapers, he's going to lose his place to this guy called Wendt.
Oh, yeah.
So I was a bit like, Wendt. If anybody plays FIFA, they probably know who he is.
Yeah.
But he's not good on FIFA. But that could be interesting to see if he loses his place. But then, obviously, going over to Leverkusen, I mean, there's one man at Leverkusen.
You spoke about him earlier this week.
I spoke about him earlier in the week, and I'll speak about him again. He is quality. Kai Havertz is an absolute player. King Kai is known as in Germany. King Kai is known as in Germany. So he's obviously rated quite highly, obviously. And then, so 2 goals. Fairly good player. Yeah. After last week, his name was flying about on all the transfer gossip pages.
Of course it was, yeah.
He was flying about, and if he has another good game, it'll be flying about all next week.
Yeah.
Key things to remember this week. So in the game, Kevin Volland out injured still with a foot injury, and then Lars Bender is still out injured as well. So 2 of the big players still out injured. Will that make a difference? I'm not sure. But then reading the newspapers, it says Peter Bose, the manager of Leverkusen, could be tempted to make a more defensive approach to try and nullify Gladbach's attack because they play 2 up top plus wingers. Yeah. So they play effectively 4 going forward. So could he be doing something like that? I mean, but Kai Havertz, I don't think anybody can overlook him. He is the fastest player to make 100 Bundesliga appearances.
Is he the fastest player to reach 30 goals as well, something like that? Youngest.
Yeah, something stupid like that. He's quite a good player. He's just quite a good player.
Haaland breaks that record, but yeah.
Yeah, no, Haaland's just a god, isn't he? 2-1 Leverkusen. I'm a Leverkusen fan, so.
Yeah, I know you are. Are you gonna put things to score as well?
I'll do something stupid probably. I reckon if I'm as a betting man, which sadly I am, I'd probably go over 2.5 goals.
Yeah. And
I'd probably stick Plier to score, maybe Thuram to score an outsider, and then definitely Havertz to score.
Fair enough, that's decent. And then we move to 8th place Schalke, who are at home against Augsburg. The last 5 meetings, Schalke's won 3 times. Augsburg's not beat them in the last 5 times, but drawn 2. Last meeting, Schalke won 3-2, so if we get another game like that'd be brilliant. League position, Schalke is 8th, 37 points. 2 points off 6, with Augsburg sitting in 14th, 27 points, only 4 points off the relegation playoffs, as they call it. Obviously, I criticised Schalke, didn't I, in the preview of the season. Luckily, didn't get any hate for that. But I was right. I mean, we all watched the game against Dortmund. They were shocking.
They were dreadful. Like Schalke aren't a bad team. Like I said last week, if you were playing Paderborn, you'd give them a lot less. You wouldn't think as bad of it, but they were dreadful. They were just really, really poor in every aspect.
I'm not surprised that Schalke's been underperforming for ages now. I mean, they're both their last 6 games. They've lost none. Sorry, they've lost 3, drawn 3, won none. Augsburg's won none, drawn 1, lost 5. So again, both of them are in shocking forms. All the teams I can say have in shocking forms.
It's just crap game. It's just crap. It's just a crap game.
Players to watch out for Schalke. Some player that I do actually like and I rated him before is that Amir Harit, who's a camp.
Oh, he's clap. He's good. No, he's a good player.
Got 6 goals this season, 4 assists. Very young player, obviously. Averages 1.8 key passes a game and 2.4 dribbles a game, which is impressive for his age. Definitely could pull the strings for Schalke. For Augsburg, I've gone for a player called Florian Nadir-Lecher or something like that. Nadir-Lecher. He's a right-wing attacking midfielder. He's about 31 years old, but he's got 11 goals and 6 assists for the Bundesliga. That's pretty impressive.
That's all right. That's all
Yeah,
right.
with just one whole dribble a game. So yeah, like I said, I criticised Schalke before. As in, like, I think they've been overachieving, and I don't rate the manager David Wagner that much. And I think it proved on Saturday how bad tactically they were against Dortmund. Do you know what I mean?
Dreadful, genuinely dreadful.
But this game's a bit different because Augsburg are not great either. Even though I did think they played pretty well against Wolfsburg last week.
They were all right, but they weren't.
But yeah,
they weren't brilliant.
For my bet, like Tom, I'm a better man, but I never win any bets, so probably shouldn't follow me. But we'll go. Both teams score and over 2.5 goals, so I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, a bit like the last game. But my prediction, I'm going for my first draw. I'm going for a 2-2 draw because Schalke aren't amazing, and neither of Augsburg, so I think it's going to even each other out 2-2. And I also think Schalke's going to even fall further down the table this weekend. But they're going to drop to ninth. But
I can buy that.
Next game, we go to another great one.
Oh yes.
To be fair, it's not actually that bad because Freiburg's fight. We go
Freiburg are pushing. They're pushing.
And Werner's trying to tell people know what we talked about in their last game.
But I think the big thing from this game is it's not about can Freiburg win. It's about can Werder Bremen get a point at least.
Yeah.
Because they were dreadful.
Monday.
Oh, they were dreadful. I remember you were texting me through the game. I was like, oh, Jesus. I watched it on Monday morning. Tuesday morning, and I was like, Jesus Christ. They were really bad.
Just let him walk in a header.
No, it was terrible. It was genuinely terrible. But, yeah, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed, to be fair, for them. It was an embarrassing performance. But looking at the game, looking forward, Freiburg, they're doing all right. They're in seventh.
Yeah.
If they win and Wolfsburg lose, they're in the Europa League. They're in the Europa League spots. We think Wolfsburg will lose. Yeah. So Freiburg can do this. They just need to. They've not had the best last few games. They're still on a draw and lost one draw and last 5. So it's not brilliant, but it's not terrible by all means either. So it's not a disgrace. So if they can pick up a win, put pressure back on Wolfsburg, that's a good thing. And you look at the bottom of the table, Werder Bremen. Even if they win, they're still in the relegation zone.
True.
They're still in the relegation zone. And then if it's 5 points from the playoffs, if they win, they'll be 2.
Yeah, depending if they'll win.
Yeah. I think a draw. I think they'll take a draw. I think you have to take a draw, really. If you're in that position, take a draw. Hope for the best. But Werder Bremen, I'm looking at their lad, Milot Rashica.
Yeah.
Really good player. From all accounts, after reading up on him, he's too good for that club.
Yeah.
Too good for that club. He's quick, physical, a very good dribbler. He averages 3 dribbles a game. So he's a really, really good dribbler.
They're good numbers.
That's good. They're good numbers and they're impressive numbers. And if they go down and he follows them down, then there's a problem at the club somehow because he needs to be going to bigger and better things. And just for his sake, really, he's too good to be playing Bundesliga 2 if they do go down. He's a really good player, young lad as well. He's young, he's raw potential. So you've got to give him as many chances as you need to get up the leagues and get up the ladder, playing at better and better clubs. Maybe a team like Wolfsburg, for example, might benefit from him. Some sort of decent Bundesliga side, not brilliant, but they're going to push top half of the table, give him a chance to really try and develop his game a bit. But like you're looking at the stats, like 11 of Freiburg's last 15 goals have come from set pieces.
Interesting.
So Freiburg obviously are big at the back. They're a big unit, clearly, and they've either got some big lump up front or they got some massive centre halves who just smash them in, which is a big thing to look. Bremen led the reverse fixture this season, so they were 2-0 up, and then they drew 2-2. So they're not very good at keeping the victory. But I think this is a really interesting fact. Despite leading 13 of their 25 league games this year, they've only won 4 games. That's a massive stat, that.
Yeah.
That's massive. So that's where the downfall is. They're scoring. They're clearly scoring the goals.
Yeah.
Just defensively, they're dreadful.
Yeah, they are.
So they've got to sort that out. as a betting man, I don't really want to bet on this game because it's just not something I'm confident in my knowledge. But I think it's going to be 2-1 again. Maybe it's either going to be a 2-1 or a 1-0 to Freiburg.
Yeah.
Werder Bremen have not got a chance. I'll probably say 2-1. And I'm looking at that with Freiburg scoring 11 from set pieces out of the last 15 goals. I'd probably stick Freiburg to score from a set piece on.
Yeah.
If they're doing that much, stick them on a set piece goal. Worth a crack.
Fair enough. So I'm going to go to last game of the weekend. I think it's last game of the weekend. Yes, it is. FC Cologne versus Dusseldorf. They've played each other 4 times for the last 5 meetings. So Cologne's won 1, Dusseldorf's won 1, drawn 2. Last meeting, Dusseldorf in the Bundesliga, Dusseldorf won 2-0. League positions, Cologne, obviously great story. We're rock bottom by November. Now currently sitting 10th with 33 points. And still have a semi-hope of Europa League spot.
A glimpse.
Yeah, a glimpse of hope. Dusseldorf sit, like you said, the team in the playoffs that we keep talking about. They're sitting in 16th with 23 points, 4 points off 15th, 5 points off 17th. Last 6 games, Cologne's actually better form, 1-3, drawn 1, lost 2. But Dusseldorf's only won 1 of the last 6 games, drawn 4 and lost 1.
Yeah.
Players to watch. For Cologne, I've gone for Mark Uth, who I'm not sure, but he's only played 8 games. But in these 8 games, he's scored 5, assisted 4.
Fair. Fair.
It's like averaging 1.5, about 1.2 goal contributions per game.
Steady.
Yeah, he averages 3 key passes and got a goal last game. He played like cam/winger. If he gets at this rate, he'll be one of the best players in the Bundesliga.
He's gonna be playing for Dortmund next season. He's gonna be up front. Get rid of Ireland. Get him out.
But no, on real numbers, obviously they'll probably go down. But Dusseldorf, I've gone for. It was hard again, a bit like Panama to think a key player, but I've gone for a player called Eric Tommy, who's a who's a midfielder. Sorry, he's got 5 goals, 4 assists in all year, and averages 1.2 key passes. So a lot of things go through him. Do you know what I mean?
Good player.
But a bit like you said last game, I can't say anything else but Cologne winning would be a better team. For my bet, I'm on just Cologne to win, just simple Cologne to win. But I'm going for a 2-1 prediction because when I watched Dusseldorf last week, it weren't that bad actually.
Cologne victory.
But that's been our prediction. I mean, it's like I said, there could be some big movement in the league, couldn't there? Like you said.
Yeah, it could be. That's the thing. I think the best thing about this league at the moment is it's so bunched up.
Yeah, it is. It is.
At the top of the table, there's an element of bunching, but definitely between 6th and
11th.
Well, 6th and
really.
6th and 13th. There's only 11 points in it.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's so sort of congested. It makes for whether or not it makes for good viewing, but it makes for good numbers.
100%.
Because it's interesting because at this point there's going to be a few big games every week now because of the congestion. So there's always going to be stuff to play for, whether it's league title, but we think Munich are probably going to romp that now.
Yeah.
But mid-table, just the bragging rights of how high can you finish in the table for the teams who probably can't get into Europe. It's just always a nice little battle.
But yeah, so your game of the weekend is going to be the Leverkusen and Munchen Gladbach.
Yeah, Munchen Gladbach Leverkusen. Whoever wins that's going in the Champions League.
I agree. I believe that is the game of the weekend. But obviously the Berlin derby tonight.
Yeah, you can't overlook a derby. You can't overlook a derby.
Especially that big and how little they play each other in history. Do you know what I mean? And we'll be back on Monday. And on Monday we've got a double header because we've got to review the games of the weekend. But I don't know if you know, Tom, but on Tuesday and Wednesday they're playing games in the Bundesliga.
Oh, yeah, midweek games, isn't it? Yeah,
so we're going to have to, that'll be a long one, so make sure you come over to that. As always, go check out Tom's channel Inside the Time. Great for non-league. It'll always be in the description below. You know it always is. Tom, thanks for coming on again.
No, cheers, man.
Get used to seeing Tom. He'll probably be here for every prediction. It's always good to have a third opinion, especially when Harry lets us down.
I'm always here.
Make sure you hit that like button, guys. Subscribe if you're new. We've got, like I said, weekly content of coming for Bundesliga and other leagues coming up. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching.